Today I'll be showcasing every style that's both in Blue Lock Rivals and Azure Latch. And I'm going to be comparing every single style to see which game is truly the best Blue Lock game on Roblox. Starting off with Isagi. And the first game that we're going to be starting off with is Blue Lock Rivals. So in terms of Isagi and Blue Lock Rivals, as you guys can see, we got the direct shot and the fadeaway. And before we go ahead and check out all the styles in both of these games, I just want to go ahead and say both of these Blue Lock games are really good in their own way. Like, obviously it just depends on what you want in the Blue Lock game at the end of the day. Like, if you're somebody that wants a simple game but fun, obviously you might like Blue Lock Rivals better. But if you're somebody that wants something a little bit more advanced and like better mechanics, better cutscenes and stuff like that, maybe Azure Latch is going to be better. So like at the end of the day, bro, both games are really good. It just depends on like what you prefer. So let me go ahead and just stop yapping. And the first move that we're going to be checking out is the direct shot. Alright, so let me go ahead and use the direct shot real quick. There we go. Bro, what is that range, man? That range is actually buns. The next move that we have is the fadeaway. So as you guys can see with the fadeaway, you literally just dash through the person and ragdoll them. So yeah, it's a pretty cool move to like get people off of you and stuff. And that's pretty much all that there is for Isagi's base form. So let's go ahead and move on to his awakening. As you guys can see, hey, are you listening? We got the puzzle pieces around us. We got Isagi whispering in my ear. That is so weird, man. Oh my god. And as you guys can notice, you actually have your screen blue as well, so like everything turns into blue. And we got one move, which is the final shot. So if I actually go ahead and aim this in that corner over there, here we go, bro. Check this out. So this right here is the final shot, and boom, there we go. Alright, so that right there is Isagi in Blue Lock Rivals, but there's one thing that you have to know. In Azure Latch, they actually have Isagi and Nel Isagi like combined into one. Because obviously, as you guys know, Isagi and Azure Latch has like the two-gun volley and stuff like that. And obviously in this game, they have Isagi in two categories. They have the rare Isagi and they also have the world-class Isagi. So I think it only makes sense to like go ahead and look at Nel Isagi as well. Alright, so finally here we have Nel Isagi, and the first move that we do have is the direct shot. And basically this is a better version of the direct shot, as you guys can see. It does have a lot more range and stuff. The next move that we have is the meta vision. So as you guys can see with the meta vision, you just get vision across the entire map and stuff. You get to see what style people are using. So as you guys can see, my other account here is using Sai. It's pretty cool, bro. You just get vision across the entire map. The next move that we have is the dash. So this one pretty much just makes you dash. And last but not least, we have the lefty shoot, which does that. You literally just take the ball from the person and kick it away. And now it is time for the awakening. All right, so this right here is the awakening with Nel Isagi. As you guys can see, it looks pretty cool, bro. My super victory. And in terms of the awakening, as you guys can see, we got three moves. We got the Demon King, the two-gun volley, and we got the true direct shot. So the first move that we're going to be testing out is the Demon King. So let me go ahead and just jump up over here and use this. As you guys can see, this right here is the Demon King. All right, looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. All right, so the next move that we have is the two-gun volley, which pretty much does this. You just shoot the ball, and I'm pretty sure we get guns. So there we go. We got the two pistols. There we go. So it's a nice little shooting move. Also, I forgot to mention, but whenever you pop your awakening, you actually get to see their moves and the cooldown of the moves as well. So that's pretty cool. And the last move that we have is the true direct shot. So this one, you have to have a teammate in the game, but you pretty much do a direct shot while your teammate has the ball. Nothing too crazy, but anyways, man, let's go ahead and check out Isagi in Azure Latch, and let's go ahead and check it out, bro. All right, so here we are in Azure Latch, and we are using the Isagi style. So let me go ahead and show you guys the first move, which is the direct shot. So if I actually go ahead and aim up and use this direct shot move, as you guys can see, that right there is the direct shot, bro. So pretty simple stuff so far. The next move that we have is the Naruhaya footwork. I hope I said that correctly, but basically this is the fadeaway. So as you guys can see, you literally just dash forward with the ball. And the next three moves that we have is moves with your awakening. All right, so we got the my direct shot, we got the two-gun volley, and we have move it. So if I pop my flow real quick, as you guys can see, this is the awakening animation, bro. I kind of find it better than the one in Blue Lock Rivals personally. Starting off with the my direct shot. So this right here is the my direct shot. As you guys can see, the cutscenes are insane in the game, bro. Look at those impact frames. Oh my god, bro. This game is just like different, bro. Like, it's actually insane. The next move that we have is the two-gun volley, and like I did say earlier, it's kind of mixed between Isagi and Nel Isagi. So this right here is the two-gun volley, bro. Check that out. We got two pistols. It's a really good move. move, man. Alright, so in terms of the move it move, I need another person, like a teammate in the game. And obviously, as you guys know, I don't really have anybody else to like test this with, but it's basically you grab the person by their shoulder and like, you know, move them out the way and just take possession of the ball. So yeah, that's pretty much all that there is for Isagi in Azure Latch. So but anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next style. All right, the next style that we have is Nagi. And in terms of Nagi in Blue Lock Rivals, as you guys can see, we got the trap and we also have the dash. So if I actually go ahead and use the trap real quick, the way this works is the ball like goes in the air like this and you get to shoot the ball afterwards as well. So it's actually a great move for shooting and also like, you know, controlling the ball. The next move that we have is the dash. So honestly, I don't even know what this does, bro. Like it's a dash that like goes to the side. And I think that's literally all it does, bro. It's just a dashing move. So nothing too crazy in terms of the base form. And now let's move on to the awakening. All right, this right here is the awakening animation. It's actually a pretty short one. And we also have one move only, which is called I am Nagi. Here we go. Instantly kill it. Nice to meet you, Japan. I am Nagi. There we go. Yes, sir. Wait, that's my own net. Okay, I just lost aura. So that's basically it. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I feel like Nagi in this game definitely does deserve a rework. But now let's move on to Azure Latch. All right, so here we are in Azure Latch, and as you guys can see, we are using Nagi, and these are the moves that we have. So we have the fake volley, control, heavy, and nice to meet you, Japan. So the first move is the fake volley. So you literally just fake the person out, I'm pretty sure. So that's how that looks like right there. The next move that we have is control, and it says near ball. So oh, okay. Oh, there we go. All right, so that right there is the control. And the next move that we have is called heavy, which is actually a shooting move as well. So that right there is the heavy move. And now it is time for the awakening, all right? So check out this awakening animation. In terms of the awakening, we only have one move, which is called nice to meet you, Japan. Starting the shooting motion. All right, you do a little 360 spin, and then you say nice to meet you, Japan. I am Nagi. There we go, bro. That's sick, man. So both are very similar. You know, the one in Blue Lock Rivals and the one in Azure Latch. Yeah, that has pretty much been Nagi in Azure Latch. Let's go ahead and move on to the next style. All right, so the next style that we have now is Shido. And in Blue Lock Rivals, as you guys can see, we have two moves, which are Dragon Drive and Dragon Header. All right, let me go ahead and use a Dragon Drive real quick. There we go. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like, it's nothing too crazy for Shido in this game. And in terms of the Dragon Header, you literally just do this. So that right there is the Dragon Header. So let's go ahead and move on to his awakening. All right, here we go. This right here is the Shido awakening animation. It's a pretty short one, I'm not gonna lie. You literally just say let's start, and that's basically it. And in terms of his awakening, as you guys can see, we have one move called the Big Bang Drive. As you guys can see, this right here is the cutscene animation. All right, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's actually a peak move, bro. Like, check this out, dude. It's one of the best like animations in the game, or like one of the best moves, I should say, in the game. So that right there is the Big Bang Drive for Shido, and that's basically it in Blue Lock Rivals. So let's go ahead and move on to Azure Latch and check it out in Azure Latch. All right, the next style that we have is Shido. So the first move that we have is called Formless, and it says must be in the air. So if I actually go in the air real quick and use this move, okay. Oh, I see how this works. Okay, so I don't really play Azure Latch that much, but as you guys can see, we have the first variation, which does this, and the second variation is an air variation, which does that. So there's two ways of using the move. But anyways, the next move that we have is the back heel shot. You literally just do this, all right? So you literally just kick the ball with the heel of your foot. Pretty simple move, I'm not gonna lie. The next move that we have is called the Draconic Rush. So it says use twice. So, okay. That's pretty cool. And let's go ahead and move on to his awakening. Check this out, all right? So this right here is the awakening for Shido. So the first move that we do have is the Big Bang Drive. All right, so you just go in the sky just like the way that you do in Blue Lock Rivals, bro. Okay, Big Bang Drive, there we go. That's pretty sick, man. So there we go. That right there is the Big Bang Drive in this game. All right, so the last move that we have is the Dragon Drive. All right, so check this out, bro. This looks insane. So compare this to the one that we have in Blue Lock Rivals, bro. There is a big difference. All right, so comment down below which one you like better. But anyways, let's go ahead and check out the next style. All right, so the next style that we have is Sai. All right, so move number one is called arm swipe. So you pretty much just bro, you literally just punch him in the face, and as you guys can see, they do get ragdolled. So yeah, this is actually a pretty cool move. The next move that we have is the Meta Vision. So with this one, it's kind of similar to Nel Isagi's one. You just get to see the entire map. So yeah, it's literally just something where you could just, you know, get vision across the entire field. So yeah. All right, so the next move that we have is the Perfect Pass, and I don't really have a teammate to pass to. So I'm pretty sure you guys know what this is, bro. You just kick the ball and, you know, pass to your teammate. Nothing too crazy. The next move that we have is the Magical Turn, which is actually a pretty good dribbling move. You just go through the person like that. that, and they do get stunned. And after using the magical turn, you're gonna notice that we have another move called the heel kick. So you get 2 moves in one, so that's pretty nice. And last but not least, we have the beautiful shot, which does this. So that right there is the beautiful shot. It does have a little curve as well, so that's pretty cool. And now it is time for the awakening. All right, so this right here is the awakening animation. All right, so in terms of the awakening, we only have one move, which is called You'll Never Surpass Me. And check this out, bro. If you keep acting like my little brother, what's gonna happen next is gonna surprise you, man. All right, I literally nutmeg him, go through the guy, and you go ahead and take the shot. There we go, and boom. Okay, never mind. I just missed. Okay, let's go ahead and check out Sai in Azure Latch. And the next style that we have is Sai. So we got the perfect touch, the nutmeg, curve shot, magic pass, and cross elastico. So the first move that we do have is the perfect touch. So check this out, bro. You literally just dash through the person. So it's a nice, cool dribble move. So that right there is the perfect touch. The next move that we have is nutmeg, which is actually a counter move. This is going to be a little hard to showcase because I'm playing on 2 accounts on 1 computer. So I can't do this quick enough, man. I'm pretty sure you guys know how it looks like. You literally just counter the person and nutmeg them with the move. The next move that we have is the curve shot. So it's pretty much a shooting move that has a curve to the ball. Pretty self-explanatory. And the next move that we have is the magic pass. Basically what it does is you just like directly pass the ball to your teammate. Pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the awakening, which is the cross elastico. Alright, so this right here is the awakening animation. It's pretty short compared to the one in Blue Lock Rivals, but like I did say, we have one move called cross elastico. So let's go and test this out real quick. Check this out. Get lost, outsiders. We're in the middle of a sibling fight. You go through the person. There we go. And check this out, bro. You hit the person off you. Oh my god, this is so clean, bro. You will never surpass me. And then you go ahead and kick the ball like so. And there we go, man. But anyways, that has pretty much been Sai. Let's move on to the next style. Alright, so the next style that we have is Kaiser. So the first move that we have is probably one of the craziest moves in this entire game, and that is the Kaiser's impact. You could literally score this move across the entire map, bro. Like, it's insane. The next move that we have is the Emperor Dribble, which does this, and you can actually shoot after. So we have something called the impact right after. So if I use the Emperor Dribble and then use the impact, as you guys can see, you literally get to shoot after. It doesn't have the best range, but it's still a decent shooting move. And the next move that we have is the Kaiser Volley, and this one is pretty much like, you know, your teammate has the ball and you kick the ball away from your teammate. Like I did say, like, I do not have anybody else to test this with. I kind of have no friends. And the next thing that we have is the Emperor's Route. Alright, so basically what the Emperor Route does is you get to like do this and the person gets stunned. And you guys are gonna notice when I do this move, I get a move called the subjugation. Okay, I don't know how to say it. But basically what that does is if your teammate has the ball, they instantly pass the ball to you. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's kind of annoying, but like it's an egoist style, bro. You just take the ball from your own teammate by force. And now it is time for the awakening. Alright, so this right here is the awakening animation. Get on your knees. That's kind of sus, man. But as you guys can see, this right here is the awakening animation, bro. So the first move that we do have is the Bane Shuss. As you guys can see, you go over the person, eat this, you do a bicycle kick, you call him a loser, you go ahead and kick the ball. As you guys can see, that looks absolutely insane. And the next move that we have is the Magnus. So let me go ahead and just show you guys how this one is as well. Boom, there we go. So this right here is the Magnus. All right, there we go. And we ore farm right after. I think I missed that. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's a pretty cool shooting move. So let's go ahead and check out Kaiser in Azure Latch. All right, so here we have Kaiser in Azure Latch. And as you guys can see, we got 4 moves with our base form. So we got the Kaiser's Impact, Kaiser Impact Magnus, Off the Ball, and Dribble. So the first move that we do have is the Kaiser's Impact. So let me go ahead and use that real quick. There we go. So it's a pretty nice shooting move like that. The next move that we have is the Kaiser Impact Magnus. So let's go ahead and check this one out as well. There we go. Look at that curve, bro. That's an insane curve. The next move that we have is Off the Ball. So this right here is it's a dribbling move, it looks like. So you literally just dribble to the side like that. Pretty cool stuff. And the next move that we have is called Dribble. So it looks like you just dribble like this. I'm pretty sure it's like an ankle break or something. I don't really know what it is. But now it's time for the awakening, all right? Let's go ahead and pop this real quick. Okay, get on your knees. Okay, Blue Lock. So yeah, as you guys can see, this is how the awakening looks like in Azure Latch. I kind of find the one in Blue Lock Rivals a little bit better, but let's go ahead and check out the move, which is called Kaiser Impact Lightning Strike. But let me go ahead and use this move real quick. Here we go. He literally just kicked the ball instantly. Damn. That's some insane range as well, bro. Look at that range. Yeah, that right there is the awakening in Azure Latch. But yeah, that's basically it for Kaiser in this game. Let's go ahead and move on to the next style. All right, the next style that we have is Bachira. And like I said with Isagi, there's actually 2 Bachiras in this game as well. So we got the normal Bachira and we also have the Nel Bachira as well. So in Azure Latch, it's kind of mixed as well. So you got the normal Bachira and the Nel Bachira like kind of mixed into one style. But in terms of the normal Bachira, as you guys can see, we got the steel and we got the nutmeg. So the steel is actually pretty self-explanatory. You just, you steal the ball like that. They get ragdolled. And with the ball, our steel turns into another move called a heel pass. And basically what this does is you just, pass the ball to yourself or to a teammate with the heel of your foot. And the next move that we have is the nutmeg. So you literally just nutmeg the person and they do get stunned for a second. So it's a nice dribble move, I'm not gonna lie. But now it is time for the awakening, alright? So this right here is the awakening animation for Bachira. As you guys can see, we got the monster over there. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it looks pretty cool. So we got the monster trance and we also have the infinite dribble. So the monster trance is actually a shooting move which does this. There we go. Pretty decent range, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. And the next move that we have is the infinite dribble, which pretty much like, has after images of yourself. You get really fast as well, so we get a speed buff. So that right there is the normal Bachira. So let me go ahead and show you guys Nel Bachira as well. All right, so here we have Nel Bachira, and as you guys can see, we got the monster steel and we got the butterfly nutmeg. So let me go ahead and just show you guys the monster steel. So it basically just does that, bro. You literally Naruto run and just like slide tackle and take the ball. And the next move that we have is the roulette. So this is the roulette right over here, and it turns into a shooting move at the very end called the smash lift, I'm pretty sure. So let me try that one more time, and now we do this, and boom, there we go. It's actually a pretty good shooting move, I'm not gonna lie. And the next move that we have is the butterfly nutmeg. So as you guys can see, it's a better version of the nutmeg. You literally go through the person and there's a bunch of like butterflies and they get stunned for a second as well. And now it's time for the awakening, all right? Check this out. This is getting fun. All right, we got the monster behind us. There we go. So the first move we have is the Jinja dribble. So as you guys can see, you literally just start dribbling like crazy, bro. Look at the dribble. The next move that we have is the Ginger monster. So as you guys can see, this right here is the Ginger monster. So as you guys can see, you go through the person, shoot the ball. It doesn't have the best range. I don't know if I aimed that down, but it's a shooting move. All right, nothing too crazy. All right, so the next move that we have is the freestyle B shot. So I'm going to show you guys this one real quick. So you literally just go in the air. We got music in the background, and this right here is the freestyle B shot. All right, that's how it looks like in BLR. Let's go and check out how it looks like in Azure Latch. And the next style that we have is Bachira. So the first move that we do have is called the step over. So yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. You just dribble with the ball a bunch of times and just dash forward. The next move that we have is called monster counter. And like I did say, man, I am not able to like show these moves, bro. Obviously, man, it's a counter move, nothing too crazy. The next move that we have is called bon. So this one is this over here. You just kick the ball like so, and there's actually an air variation as well. So there's 2 variations to the move, so just keep that in mind. And the next move that we have is the monster trance. So it's that right over there. Pretty cool move as well. So this right here is the awakening animation. All right, bro, check this out. I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty cool. Like it's kind of similar to the one for the normal Bachira in Blue Lock Rivals. We got the monster over here. All right, monster trying to dap us up. There we go. We just dapped him up. And in terms of our awakening, like I did say, we only have one awakening move, which is called the B shot. So let me go and show you guys this real quick. My ego, we got the monster behind us. Stop distracting me, and we go ahead and use a B shot, and there we go. All right, so that right there is the B shot. It's kind of different to the one in Blue Lock Rivals. But yeah, that's pretty much Bachira in Azure Latch. Let's go ahead and move on to the next style. All right, the next style that we have is Don Lorenzo. As you guys can see, we got the zombie dribble, zombie dash, and the golden defense. All right, so let me go ahead and use the zombie dribble real quick. There we go. That's the zombie dribble right there. The next move that we have is the zombie dash. So this right here is the zombie dash. You just dash with the ball. Pretty simple stuff so far. And the next move that we have is the golden defense, which is basically a defense move, but you could also use it as an offense move. And something a lot of people don't know is you could use this golden defense to steal the ball as well. So check that out, bro. You could literally steal the ball with the golden defense. And this right here is the awakening animation with Don Lorenzo. All right, so it says give me money on the screen. It looks pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. All right, and as you guys can see, we get 3 moves. So we got Yo Michael, counterattack, and undead mode. So I'm pretty sure everybody knows what Yo Michael does. You literally just take the ball, you say Yo Michael and take the ball. And the next move that we have is the counterattack. So boom, here we go. Check this out. All right, so that right there is the counterattack. There we go. And last but not least, we have the undead mode, which is pretty much, you know, you go undead and you start running with the ball like very, very quickly, bro. I am literally the Flash. I'm quick. That's pretty much all that there is for now. Let's move on to Azure Latch, Don Lorenzo. All right, so here we are in Azure Latch with Don Lorenzo. So we got 4 moves for our base. So we got the zombie dribble, undead crash, defensive stance, and horrific intercept. Alright, so the first move that we have is the zombie dribble. As you guys can see, pretty self-explanatory stuff. You just dribble with the ball like so. So pretty like similar to the one in Blue Lock Rivals as well. The next move that we have is the undead crash. So this one is actually a stealing move as well. Or it could be a passing move. Yeah, I don't even have anybody in the server, bro. So like kind of sad. I'm not gonna lie. The next move that we have is the defensive stance. So this was actually the same one in Blue Lock Rivals as well. Come on. I could kick the ball. Okay. Yeah, it's not working for some reason. But yeah, that right there is the defensive stance. The next move that we have is the horrific intercept. So I'm gonna do this real quick. Boom, there we go. So you literally just intercept the ball like so. All right, but now it is time for the awakening. All right, so check this out. This right here is the awakening animation that we do have with Don Lorenzo. It looks pretty clean. So the Ace Eater, I'll probably have a video of like the ones like popped up on the screen that I can't show you guys. But yeah, in terms of Don Lorenzo in this game, that's basically all that we have. So let's move on to the next style. All right, the next style that we have is Gagamaru. So as you guys can see, we got the scorpion, which pretty much is like some diving thing where you could like, you know, just dive and hit the ball. And if I leave the goal box, my V move, which is called fast reactions, actually turns into diving header. So you could like, you know, dive and head the ball and stuff. But in terms of the fast reactions, you pretty much are a lot faster in the net. You dive faster, you move faster. So yeah, honestly, like it's just a pretty self-explanatory like goalkeeping style. All right, here we have it, boys. This right here is the Gagamaru awakening, and in terms of his awakening, we have 2 different moves. So we got the handstand, which is basically this right here, which like hits the ball away, and we also have a move called the bear claw, which does this. All right, you literally just catch the ball like so. Here's my super reaction. You throw the ball all the way down. In terms of Gagamaru, boys, that's pretty much all that there is in Blue Lock Rivals. Let's go ahead and check out the Gagamaru in Azure Latch. All right, so here we have Gagamaru in Azure Latch. And yeah, the same thing that we have in Blue Lock Rivals. So we got Scorpion, which does this, and it actually could be used to save the ball or actually score a goal as well. We also got the diving header, so that's that right there. All right, so this right here is the awakening animation. So it's the same exact one that we have in Blue Lock Rivals. So you say, darn, I'll try again. So for our awakening, we have 2 moves. So we got the perfect save, and we got the Shachi Kia Hoka. I don't know how to say that, bro. But the first move that we have is the perfect save. So I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Bro, how do I do this? Okay, let's try the next move, which is the Shachihia Hoko. Come on, bro. Why is it not working? For these videos, bro, I should have got another person in here. Like, I think I made a big mistake by doing this myself. So it's essentially the same thing as Blue Lock Rivals, but with just insane animations and cutscenes. I don't know if you guys can tell by my voice. I'm low-key losing my voice recording this video, bro. So make sure to like the video and subscribe because this is a very long video. All right, the next style that we have is King, aka Barou. So in terms of King, as you guys can see, we got the Lion Steal and we got the King Dribble. The Lion Steal is a move that steals the ball. All right, there we go. As you guys can see, literally just steal the ball from the person like so. And with the ball, it actually turns into a different move called the Lion Chop Feint. So as you guys can see, you literally just feint the person out. They get ragdolled and you just like dash forward. We also got the King Dribble like so. And the King Dribble turns into a shooting move at the very end called the Predator Shot. So if I use this and then use Predator Shot at the very end, as you guys can see, it's a shooting move that's pretty decent, bro. And now it is time for the awakening. All right, so as you guys can see, we got 3 people clinging onto us and you break free. The twisted path, you start like dashing around. As you guys can see, we got 1 move called the predation. And basically how this works is the ball must be on the floor and somebody like on the other team has to be near you. This right here is the predation. All right, you literally just do this. You have some insane VFX and you just kick the ball. And yeah, so yeah, that's how King looks like in Blue Lock Rivals. Let's go and check out how he looks like in Azure Latch. All right, so here we have Barou, aka King in Azure Latch. And in terms of the base 4 moves, we got the chop dribble, the long shot, and king's path. So the first move that we do have is a dribbling move. So this is what it does over here. You just chop and like dribble to the side. Alright, pretty cool stuff. The next move that we have is the long shot. So you pretty much just shoot the ball like so. Pretty decent range on that as well. And the next move that we have is the king path. So as you guys can see, this right here is the king's path. Pretty cool move as well. Alright, this right here is the awakening animation for king, bro. As you guys can see, it looks insane. Oh my god. Yeah, you literally just lock in, bro. You literally just lock in. So the first move that we do have is the devour. So let's go and check this out. Whoa. Yo, look how quick I am. Oh my god. So as you guys can see, you literally just start shooting the ball. Oh my god, bro. This is insane, dude. So you literally just kick the ball. We have the lion behind us, just like we did in Blue Lock Rivals. Alright, and the next move that we have is the predator eye. And I'm pretty sure for this one, you need a teammate in the game. Anyways, bro, let's go ahead and move on to the next style. Alright, the next style that we have is Aiku. So the first move is the ambush move. So the way this works is you just like instantly just take the ball from the person like that. The next move that we have is the snake clear. So it basically just clears out the ball like so. It's actually used as a shooting move and also a clearing move. And the next move that we have is the slither step. So yeah, that's the slither step right there. You also get this move if the ball is in the air as well. As you guys can see, you literally just take possession of the ball. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's pretty cool. And now it is time for the awakening, all right? So as you guys can see, this right here is the awakening animation for Aiku. It looks insane, bro. Look at these snakes around us. Oh my god, bro. So in terms of the awakening, we got 3 moves. So the first one is the cobra. This one right here is the one where you take the ball. Your snake bites the person, they get stunned for a second, and you just like take possession of the ball. All right, so the next move that we have is the basilic, and it basically does this, all right? So the ball is in the air. You literally just take the ball and you just like clear it out like that. And last but not least, we have the viper. So the viper is the shooting move. Check this out, bro. It looks insane. All right, so we got the snake coming up, and now we shoot with the snake, and there we go. The power is insane. So ladies and gentlemen, that right there is the Aiku style in Blue Lock Rivals. So let's go and check it out in Azure Latch as well. And the next style that we have is Aiku. So we have 3 moves for our base farm. So we got the serpent sway, reflex tackle, and the venom trap. So the first move is the serpent sway. So check this out. You literally just go backwards like this and then dash to the side. So that is pretty cool. The next move that we have is actually a stealing move. So check this out, bro. Check that out. You literally just go through the person like that. The third move that we have is the venom trap. All right, so this right here is the venom trap. Yeah, I'm not really sure what it does exactly, but this is how it looks like. So pretty cool stuff so far. But yeah, now it's time for the awakening, all right? So this right here is the awakening animation, bro. Check this out, dude. Check this out. My senses are in overdrive. All right, so that right there is the ultimate animation. So we do have 2 moves with the awakening. So we got the ultimate defense and we got the former striker. All right, so the first move that we have is this one right here called the former striker. And this is the end for you, Blue Lock. All right, so as you guys can see, you literally just kick the ball like so. It looks pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. All right, the next move that we have is the ultimate defense. Here we go. As you guys can see, we got the snake right over there. Oh my god, this looks insane. That looks insane. Oh my goodness. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next style. All right, the next style that we have is Rin. So the first move that we do have is the destroyer domain, which is basically this thing over here. And I'm pretty sure what this does is you like go through the person like that. And also, if you use this, you could actually steal the ball as well. The next move that we have is the Oculician break. So this is that right here. Pretty nice dribble move, I'm not gonna lie. And the next move that we have is the destructive charge. So this right here is the destructive charge. And I'm pretty sure you could like steal the ball if somebody has it. So if I use this real quick, yeah, there we go. You literally just steal the ball from the person. And last but not least, we have the annihilate. You just kick the ball with insane curve. Like, check out that curve, bro. All right, and now it is time for the awakening. All right, so as you guys can see, this right here is the awakening animation for Rin. So check this out, bro. It looks insane, dude. The voice lines, the VFX, like it looks really good, bro. Look at this thing, bro. It looks crazy. So the first move is called a new toy, and basically what this does is you take possession of the ball. So you literally just steal the ball from the person like so. All right, there we go. Oh my god. The next move that we have is the destructive crash shot. So this right here is the destructive crash shot. As you guys can see, we got like the Rin stuff behind us, and somebody tries to take the ball, but they fail. All right, you literally just kick the ball. It has insane power, bro. bro. Look at that power. And last but not least, we have the die move. So check this out, bro. You literally grab the person, all right? Check this out. You grab the person, and I'm pretty sure this is from the manga, from that one scene where, you know, Rin is grabbing Isagi and saying, this is your VIP seat. Bro, that looks insane. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, man. Now Rin is actually broken, bro. Like, he is way too overpowered. So let's go and check out how he looks like in Azure Latch. And the next style that we have is Rin. So, as you guys can see, with the ball, we get 3 moves. So we got the Oculation Break, we got the Fake Shot, and we got the Curve Shot. So the first move that we are going to be testing out is the Oculation Break. So, as you guys can see, this is how it looks like in this game. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of find it better in Blue Lock Rivals. It just looks a lot better. But anyways, that right there is the Oculation Break. The next move that we have is the Fake Shot. So you pretty much just, like, you know, shoot and fake the ball and, like, dash forward. So that right there is the Fake Shot. The next move that we have is the Curve Shot. So as you guys can see, you shoot the ball with a big curve, so that's that right there. And like I did say, there's a bunch of secret, like, you know, cutscenes, secret animations in this game. But sadly, bro, like, I don't want to make this video too long, so we don't have time to go through everything. But let's go ahead and just check out his awakening. All right, boys, this right here is the awakening animation, bro. Oh my god, this looks insane. This actually looks insane. So it's the same exact one that we have in Blue Lock Rivals, but as you guys can see in this one, it looks a little bit more realistic. Oh my god, bro, look at this. This is insane. So the first move that we do have is the kill. So let me go and show you guys this move right here. You grab the guy by his head, stop clinging on to me. So this right here is the die move that we have in Blue Lock Rivals, so that's pretty cool. And as you guys can see, I'm also starting to, like, you know, walk like Rin stuff as well. And the next move that we have is the Center of Gravity. So Center of Gravity in Blue Lock Rivals, if you guys remember with the old Rin, is a dribbling move. So I'm not really sure what it does in this game, but it does look pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I have no idea, bro. But anyways, bro, that has pretty much been Rin in Azure Latch. All right, but anyways, that has pretty much been Blue Lock Rivals versus Azure Latch. So comment down below which game you guys prefer, because like I did say, man, both of these Blue Lock games are really, really good in their own way. It just depends on what you're looking for in the game, I guess. But anyways, man, thank you guys for watching the video all the way to the end. Make sure to like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.